Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at United Health. It is time for another update, and on this chart we have been tracking this idea of a double 1-2-1-2 setup that has developed so far. Then we have a third wave up, and we are now looking at the fourth wave to the downside. Now, from a large time frame perspective, this wave 4 technically could have bottomed. We did reach the support zone and we could be looking at the fifth wave to the upside, but it's not something I necessarily find too likely, because we failed to build either a three-wave structure correction, so something like a three-wave movement to the downside, or at least, if it is 5 waves, a triangle correction, and then having that as the wave 4, but instead we built a 5-wave structure to the downside, meaning that I should be tracking, it suggests continuation to the downside, and I should be tracking a zigzag pattern developing, where I would be looking at an A wave down to be formed already, a B wave up, possibly complete very soon, and then a C wave to the downside. Now that is not a problem for the green interpretation. We do, after all, have this entire support zone between the $260 level all the way down to the $96 level at the 50% retracement to find support for this wave 4 and create the reversal to the upside in the fifth wave to new all-time highs. So this white scenario is perfectly fine, actually even preferred at this point. And as long as we hold within this wave B below the 78.6% retracement at the $510 level, we can with high likelihood track continuation to the downside in this white scenario. Now internally within this wave B, we have been tracking a few different scenarios, and before we get into them, I also wanted to mention briefly, it is still possible to have a wave 4 bottom here, and we will track that if we find a likely pattern for that to work out. It's just not something I am tracking in this very moment, because we don't really have a structure to back up that idea right now. Now, as I was saying, within this wave B, we have been tracking a few different scenarios, and in the previous video, we were looking to break either the yellow scenario or the blue scenario. It seems the blue scenario has failed and the yellow scenario won, where we were looking for a possible more direct completion of this wave B to the upside, and yet since we failed to hold the resistance for this blue scenario, the likelihood of it working out already decreased significantly, and it even more so after forming these additional highs. Actually, that even invalidated it to the point that we can now remove it. And in this scenario we were looking for a more traditional zigzag pattern, but this time to the upside to form within the wave B, whereas in the white scenario we are looking for an ABC pattern in a zigzag correction, but to the downside. Now it is all the same, and that is perfectly fine. It does not need to unfold that way, but it is an information that we now have that it is not a 5-wave move that has developed to the upside in this area, and instead what we are tracking is an ABC structure developing here. Now within this yellow scenario, in this structure, the A wave we are tracking as an ABC pattern, a 3-wave structure. We have here a wave B, and then in the C wave to the upside we are right now tracking it as an ending diagonal, meaning that each of the subwaves of this wave C is a 3-wave structure. So a 3-wave structure in the wave 1, 3-wave structure in the wave B, 3-wave structure in the wave 3, and then also in the wave 4, and now in the fifth wave to the upside. Now we did have this support zone provided also, and it did work out. We don't really need it anymore. But now to the upside, we are tracking this fifth wave that could mark really the end, the top of this wave B, meaning that after a few more highs, possibly even one could be enough, honestly, we could see a top and we could be heading in the larger wave C to the downside. That honestly I could even give you a target, but it is assuming that we fail to form any further tops within this wave B, but sure, let's look for one regardless. So assuming that we topped here in a wave B, we are looking for an ideal target for the wave C to the downside. Now I may need to zoom in a little to find the exact current top, but assuming it doesn't move too much, neither the target will, And an ideal target for the wave C currently, it is at the 100% extension at around the $139 level. Now that is an ideal target. It doesn't need to get there and it doesn't need to stop there. It is just an indication, a level it leans towards generally within a wave C movement. But so far I am still looking for continuation to the upside, and even if we manage to fulfill this pattern in the yellow scenario, there is no confirmation that the wave B has stopped. After all, it could extend easily to the point that, yeah, this could turn out to be just another A wave, then we get a B wave down, and then a C wave to the upside that could basically reset this wave B. That is also perfectly fine. Many scenarios we could really be tracking, but yeah, unfortunately, we are in a possible top area, in an area that we are close to having a full count. Now, within this wave C, I do also want to provide you some counts and support zones in this area. So mainly I'm looking here at 1, 2, then I was looking at this as the third wave top. It would have been sufficient, but yeah, since we pushed so far within this fifth wave, this supposed fifth wave to the upside, I am actually heavily considering an extension in this area where, yeah, in this wave C, this internal wave C, I am looking also at an ending diagonal, and this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and instead of having here the third wave up, I am considering this the A wave up. We have here a B wave down, and now a C wave that would be developing to the upside. Now within this wave C, I am not necessarily considering it complete. I am actually looking even in an additional internal ending diagonal within the wave C. I'm still looking for another high within the wave 5, and I can even provide you a micro count in this area. And let's use the sub micro, but I would be looking for support zone in this case within this wave 4 in the area, let's see, between the $370 all the way down to the $364 level, and as long as we hold the 61.8% retracement, we can still look for continuation to the upside in this area. Now, keep in mind, this is not confirmed. It is possible to have a top here within this movement to the upside. It is possible for this to be the fifth wave and actually be done with this entire structure and this entire movement to the upside. If that is the case, we will likely fall below the 61.8% retracement. That is already a first sign that, yeah, this structure could be complete. But since this movement to the upside could still be tracked also as an impulse, since we haven't fell below in a wave 2 for it to actually be considered a clear diagonal structure, I could still be tracking an impulse. And in that case, I would be looking here at a series, actually let me do this, a series of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 setups, where this would be still a third wave up, then we have a fourth wave down, and then, yeah, this would still be the fifth wave to the upside, but it would be within a 1, 2, 3, fourth, and the fifth. That could still be working out fine, and in that case, I can allow the price to fall to lower support areas and still be looking for continuation to the upside, since in this idea of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the orange scenario, we did reach the 138.2% extension in such a wave 3. And I was meaning to actually do the count like this, where, yeah, I would be looking then for this third wave to be complete in this area, and I would now be possibly looking for a larger correction in a wave 4. Now in this case, this entire wave 3 would need to be a possible, yeah, an ABC structure developing this in this area. That is fine, not really a problem, but I can allow this orange scenario to go from the $366 level all the way down to the $353 level. But if we actually fail to hold the 61.8% retracement here in the orange scenario, there is an extremely high risk that this wave B top has actually occurred, and that we could be heading in the C wave to the downside. And even if it didn't, even if this is just an ABC movement to the upside that is forming and extending this wave B, I would still be looking for quite a significant possible correction in this area. So who knows, maybe let's say we fail to hold the 61.8% retracement, I could easily see a break all the way down to the first level of the larger support area that we have here for the green scenario. And that is something to consider because it is 26% down. Now, there really isn't much else to add. As long as we hold the yellow scenario, I can still be looking for continuation to the upside in this larger wave 3, and yeah, we would still be looking for at least 2 more highs within this larger wave C in yellow. But yeah, if we fail to hold that, we would be looking at the fallback scenario that we have here in orange, and if that fails, it is a pretty good indication that yeah, this structure is probably over. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.